I, a lot of people mention The Hunt because the theme is a little bit the same. It's like one person getting accused of something. The difference between The Hunt and this film, it's like in The Hunt you are you know that he's innocent. In this film you never know who's innocent or guilty.
Ja, det er jo Armand igjen, da.
Unnskyld. Unnskyld. Unnskyld.
First of all, congratulations on the film and the Camera d'Or Award in Cannes. And it's a great pleasure to talk with both of you. And my first question is for both of you is about the similarity in your path. Renata, you before being the worst person in the world, you said that you're thinking about give up your acting career. And Halfdan and Ken this year, you said that you resist for so long to follow the footsteps of your grandparents, Liv Ullmann and Ingmar Bergman. So, how did you meet to come to bring Armand to life and discover that you both born to do this?
We did a short movie. It was supposed to be like a test for you in where your grandfather had his house. And we just shot it for 2 days, and you never published it or anywhere. Maybe when it's like a 10-year anniversary, you'll maybe show it to someone, but it was in 2016. So it's like 2 years. Then maybe it will come out.
Yeah.
But we were on set after shooting, and we both started crying and was very moved by just the connection that we had. And we decided we would make something, and Halfdan started thinking about this character, but you didn't know what world she was going to be in. So you developed her first, and then slowly you would have all the pieces together. And we would talk like for all the drafts I would see, you would make her kind of more and more hard to play. And but I'm also very intrigued by the darkness in people, and finding complexity in being your worst self. Yes, like you said, I played the worst person in the world, but she really wasn't the worst person in the world. But Elizabeth is in such a heightened state, and she's under so much pressure, and everyone has that. When they're under that much pressure, the worst will come out of them, and she puts all her anxiety onto other people. And it was a very hard role to do, but it was a very tight collaboration of pushing the limits of what she could be and what in this world that you created.
And I resisted to go into filmmaking, but because I had this legacy to kind of live up to, and I was really unsure about if I wanted to go in there. But the filmmaking passion, took me, and I have never looked back after making my first film. You worked as an actor, but didn't feel maybe.
Because I come from a very small village where there is no art, or it's no access to art, or it was very like secluded from everything. So I had to kind of find it myself, or I was shocked when I saw like good movies when I was a teenager, and I was trying to get into it, but for me the path was so far away. And then I had worked with theater for, I think, since I was 9 until I decided to quit it, because theater is very hard work. But then Worst Person happened, and then now I am so in love with movies, and I don't want to stop.
So I have to say that, and I say it again, Renata, if I have the opportunity to meet in person. So, since the first screening can in 2021, I watched The Worst Person in the World 6 times, and I love it more and more. And because of you, and I felt embraced and become of my favorite films at all time. And when I watch Armand, I see the same feeling and have two scenes that all caught my attention and my emotions. And I would like to comment about one was the scene of the laugh, the uncontrolling laugh. That was amazing. And the other is the dance around the brutality of the other characters in your body. That was really intense.
So it is really difficult, like technical for an actor to actually lose control, and it's no way actually to, or for me personally, to kind of play it. I have to get in a state where I actually am on the border of losing control, actually losing control, and I knew that was going to be very hard mentally. So you also knew and gave me like 5 days to recover after. But it was a very important scene for the movie. So, but I came in the morning and I said, I'm not going to be able to do it. And we just tried and tried. We had the whole day to really, and of course I built up the analysis so that it was possible for me to go there and then just lose control. And it is a movie about crossing boundaries. So it's also like the play to do that as an actor was, of course, it's fantastic to be able to see where those not borders, but boundaries are. And also this scene, the dance scene, is also very much about crossing boundaries and the violence of how that feels, and the position Elizabeth is in is seen very much in the scene. And that also was a state of losing control. So it was very challenging, but it's become beautiful scenes.
Armand has such delicate theme and atmosphere. It's a little bit dark also. And of course, you end up comparing with other films. I found myself thinking about The Hunt by Thomas Vinterberg. But I would like to know from you, what was your reference specifically for this film?
A lot of people mention The Hunt because the theme is a little bit the same. It's like one person getting accused of something. The difference between The Hunt and this film, it's like in The Hunt you know that he's innocent. In this film you never know who's innocent or guilty. And actually I was much more inspired by The Celebration by the same director, Thomas Vinterberg, which is a very uncomfortable and very intense movie set in one location. And I watched a lot of different films set in one location: 12 Angry Men, Rosemary's Baby, Suspiria, the new Suspiria by Guadagnino, which is mainly set in one location. And I'm really inspired by those films, and also for the satirical elements in this film. Luis Buñuel has been like a leading star for me. You know, Exterminating Angel and Discreet Charm of the Bourgeois. It's like great inspirations for me, and the way that Luis Buñuel makes his satires, it's very inspiring because he makes them so serious in a way, and the acting is so serious, and everybody is really like they are never playing the satirical elements, and I think that's really great about him and his films. The premise are quite absurd though, but they never play it out.
I have a last question, and I know the inspiration of the story came from an anecdote that a friend told you about something inappropriate that a child for 6 years old told for another one, and you immediately thought about the parents and their responsibility to this case. And I wonder, that's why there is no children on the screen. And there are other questions for both of you. And I would like to know, when you're a child, you watching movies, was a movie lover, and what your parents allowed you to watch on this age?
First of all, I think it's quite boring to work with children, so I wanted to find a way not to not to include them in the film, and I also think it really, you know, was making sense with the theme, you know, because it's so much about projection and judgment, and I wanted the children to be made up in the audience's mind and imagination based on who the parents were and what kind of information you were given. I think the children made in the audience's mind was more interesting than if I, you know, show them in a specific way.
I watched we had like 4 VHS movies. It was like the Swan Princess, is that what it's called
Yeah,
in
yeah.
English? And the one where the dog runs away and comes back.
Yeah.
And it,
The Incredible Journey or
yes,
something like
yes.
that. Yeah.
And one more, but I can't remember that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And then I watched a lot of TV, but because that's what we had in the village that I grew up. So like Home and Away and MacGyver and MTV, a lot of MTV. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a little bit more than that, but you know, I watched like Jaws and you know, great adventures movie. I watched a lot of Steven Spielberg. I'm really inspired by him as well. I think he's, you know, one of the greatest filmmakers. Yeah, my grandfather showed me Chaplin, Modern Times. So the scene in the rain is really inspired by a silent movie and the expression in silent movies. So yeah.
And the dances I do is very inspired by MTV.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Everything I do is from MTV.
Yeah. And MacGyver.
And MacGyver.
Yeah.
I love fixing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking to me, and was really a pleasure.
Thank you for all your kind words.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
really, yeah, very nice.